Hello and welcome back to the Backcourt's mini exclusive episodes.
Yep.
We are running through all of the signing period dramas, ins and outs, and today we're focusing on the bridesmaids of the league.
Yes.
I might hear from their media manager.
Forever
for
the
saying
bridesmaids.
Forever the bridesmaids, never the bride. No.
Except for that 1 year. They were the
Except
brides
for that,
once.
They have been the bride. But the West Coast Fever,
Yes.
they managed to win 13 games in a row, breaking all sorts of records, but they just couldn't win the big dance.
No. You've absolutely nailed that intro there, Liv. First time, one take wonder. No, you're right. It's going to be a little treat for the backcourters, these 8 little episodes. The Fever, it's, look, they were red hot. They had the media around their finger over at West. They were
Australia's
riding.
best team.
Well, they had
best netball
6
team.
op-eds the week of the grand final. Even cricket great Mitchell Johnson was on side. I think the day of the grand final, they posted a front page on the West Australian saying, "We will win for one reason. It was the GOAT." And to be fair to Janelle, she did all she could.
She is the GOAT.
She is the GOAT. We're not disputing that. But they didn't win. They didn't win. You
They
are
just
correct in
couldn't quite
saying
get
that.
the job done.
So,
but
yeah.
today we're focusing on
We
the
are.
signings. So the West Coast Fever, they finished top
Runners up.
Runners up.
But they won 12-2.
And the only in of their season, of their signing period, is they have re-signed Sasha Glasgow, who
Correct.
of course has been at the Mavericks for the past 2 years, but was at the West Coast Fever and did win a premiership with them in 2022.
Correct.
She returns back over to the West to be coached under Dan Ryan
Yeah.
again. And of course, Sasha Glasgow's win is Shanice Beckford's loss. I did that. I've reverse engineered that.
No, you were going for the line, one man's trash, another man's treasure, but it's not quite the same. No, you're right. So they've made a change in goal attack. So their 10 is Janelle, Olivia Wilkinson, Sasha Glasgow, Jess Ansis, Alice Tegnell, Jordan Kransberg, Sunday Ariang, Katie Ann Dehaney, Fran Williams, and Ruth Ariang. And you can only assume that Zoe Kransberg, who did really, really well all year, will be the 11th player again. So basically, Liv, there's only really one change. As you mentioned off the top, Sasha will probably start as well. So it is a strange one that Shanice, I think, started every single game in goal attack. And they've said, sorry, Shanice, we're going to go get Sasha back.
Yeah.
And the only thing I have to say, and we'll obviously get into your thoughts straight away, the only thing I have to say is that on paper it's an upgrade. I think, no disrespect to Shanice, I really like what she brought to the Fever, but Sasha is a better player. But she's a very different player.
Yeah.
So... and their whole game plan was about basically finding ways to have different people feeding the ball to Janelle. Sasha hits the scoreboard a bit more. So it'd be interesting to see how that rolls out.
Yeah, I am interested to see it as well. When she moved across to the Mavs, she was quite open about the fact that she was wanting to sort of hone her craft as a goal shooter and get a little bit better.
Wow.
And she wasn't getting that
When
to
we
play
get to
that
the
role
Mavs.
in the Fever. Well, yeah. So it's interesting that she's then going back to the Fever, knowing that she
won't
play
play goal
that.
shooter,
She won't
yeah.
be a goal shooter. She'll play that goal attack role. But I think for me, this just feels like a return, obviously, to the 2022 premiership side. Which once again, if it ain't broke, no need to fix it. Like, might as well bring in what they know already worked for them. But yeah, it is a little bit strange because it was rumoured that she left because of the coaches who haven't changed.
Yeah.
So
I think it's just, well, like you said, she wanted to play goal shooter, but the problem is with the Mavs, and like I said, we're going to get to them in a few episodes' time, is that they had 3 goalers that all wanted to play goal shooter.
yeah,
And you could argue the same about this Fever team, because I think Olivia Wilkinson is a natural goal shooter. She actually, the first 2 games when they didn't have Janelle, she actually was probably one of their better players. And then you've got Janelle, and then now you've got Sasha. So there's obviously more to it than just wanting to play goal shooter. She obviously wants to be back home in I think I believe she's a Perth native.
She's from South Australia.
Oh, is she?
Yeah,
Well, she's obviously enjoyed her time in
she's
Perth.
from South Australia. But I think she obviously spent a few years in playing for the West Coast Fever.
I think she played for the Thunderbirds for a little bit and then the Fever, but obviously had her most successful time with the Fever because she made her international debut for England just before she came to the Mavericks, but that was off the back of a really good year with the Fever, yeah.
But, yeah, I think what's really nice about this story is she's obviously been quite open with the fact that she's had some real mental health struggles.
Yes. Well, she didn't get, unfortunately, she had that shocking injury.
She's also just been, she broke her leg.
Yeah, in the in a
TGC?
practice. No, it was just a practice game between them and the Lightning from memory at Waverley.
That's right.
And it was a shocking leg injury.
So it's just been a bit of a struggle for her at the Mavs in sort of rehabbing that and getting getting back on court. So it'll probably be nice for her to have a little bit of a change, but also to head back to West Coast Fever, where she obviously has a great network around her. But the other one that we're probably keeping an eye out for is Ruth Ariang.
Yes.
Obviously, Sunday Ariang's little sister. She was playing incredibly at the start of this season before she did her Achilles. So we're just hoping that she
Gets a clear run at it.
gets a clear run at it and can truly reach her.
It does mean, though, that their
Return.
defence, so they're sort of, obviously with the way 10s are built, there's going to be a part of it where each team has to identify that 10th player. They're going to have a 4 somewhere. So the Vixens have 4 that play across the mid-court. And then obviously the Thunderbirds last year had about 5 people that could play goal attack, wing attack.
Yep.
So the Fever, this is the second year in a row where they've got 4 defenders. Ruth's obviously young and upcoming, so she probably won't care too much if she's not always on court. But the other 3 are all international level. So you could argue, Fran Williams, it's surprising to me that she decided to stay. She's obviously loving her time in Perth, but it's surprising me that she decided to stay. She's England's starting goal defence or starting goalkeeper, or maybe behind.
And she's their captain.
Of England?
Yeah.
Is she?
She's the captain of
I
England.
didn't know that.
Yeah.
There you go. And I'm a host of a
Which
netball
is
podcast.
what-
An award-winning... No, it's not.
Yeah. I also had a note on this. I think it's interesting.
I thought she might move somewhere
Well, so did
where
I.
she can play.
Yeah. But I think she's obviously happy in Perth. I think she's playing in the world's best netball league. She obviously feels as though she's still getting enough development and she's developing enough as a player that she can stay at the Fever.
What would her options
and
have
start
been?
on the bench. But the thing is that I think Dan seems to rotate them through more than possibly other coaches would. And so
I think it's a matchup thing. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
But she could... I guess the only option she probably had to go to was the Giants. Were the only team that had a lot of defensive spots open, and maybe the Mavs, but obviously Sasha might have said, stick in Perth.
Yeah.
No, that was the only thing I was interested about. But like you said, they're going well. She's obviously loving her time. It looks like they're a very close-knit group. And she's obviously having a great time. Then they make finals. They've got Janelle, so they're going to make finals. That's it shouldn't be underestimated. You want to play court time, but there's also a little bit that wants to win a premiership. And if you've got Janelle on your team, it's probably worth hanging around.
I think they would have been silly to make many changes. I
thought Fran might force that one. I think the Fever definitely wanted to keep her.
Yeah, I think they'll be very strong next year.
The last note you've got here is about Alice Teague-Neal. So she'll play every minute in wing attack.
Yeah, so it's interesting.
What happens if she gets injured?
Well, exactly, right? You've stolen my thunder there, Matt.
I've read it from
You're
the same
reading
run
my
sheet.
notes. But Alice Teague-Neal obviously is their main wing attack, right?
Only.
But she also is, used to be a goal attack, has become a specialist wing attack at the Fever. If she was to go down, they kind of have to force Jordan into wing attack, who is more of a centre. So I just find it interesting that it seems like there's actually quite a few teams who are sort of lacking a backup wing attack.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah. But I think it's a hard one because if you're a gun wing attack, you want to go play somewhere. You could argue the Giants are probably the only team that have 2. For years, we've said the Giants don't have any wing attacks. Now you could argue they've got 2.
Yeah.
But I agree with that. Or the other option is Kelsey Brown's obviously working as media consultant / reserves player. So I wouldn't be surprised if Teague-Neal went down, they would go to Kelsey and go, hey, do you want to play? But then she would have to toss up whether she wants to keep working with Fox Netball because you obviously can't.
Can't do both.
Well, you probably could, but you wouldn't be doing... You'd be a lot of travel involved if you're playing for the Fever in Perth and then you've got to fly over to Sydney the next day. Look, that's probably the only glaring issue, but you'd find most teams...
We're talking massive hypotheticals.
The only team that probably has that depth is actually the Vixens because they've got about 14 players. That can, as I said, everyone plays every position. Yeah. And they've got Tara Watson.
Yeah.
Big fan.
But
grades.
The Fever, in terms of a grade, I've given them a B.
Right. And you gave the Vixens a B+.
Because it just wasn't anything shocking to me.
Right.
But also, in some ways, that is an A+, right? Because they didn't need to make any changes.
We've got to say that we're not grading this on the 10. We're grading this on the excitement of the signing window, aren't we?
Yes. That's probably a very good differentiation.
So there's 2 elements. There's the actual 10, but also the excitement. So in terms of their 10, A+.
Yeah.
In terms of the excitement,
I'm
a
giving
C,
it a B.
so it's in the middle.
Yeah.
I agree with you. I went B+, purely because they actually made a signing, unlike the Vixens.
Yeah.
And I will say, like I said before, Sasha is definitely an upgrade as a player, but it'll be interesting to see how her role, like you said, they're reverting back to an old thing. Maybe this means that they felt like Shanice didn't hit the doubles as much. because Janelle had to go out and hit them. I think Janelle was actually better at them than Shanice by the end. So it will be interesting to see with that. But look, let's be honest, the Fever will make finals again. It's just whether they can win it.
Yeah, I think they're looking very strong for next year.
Yes, they was looking strong. Hopefully for their sake, Ruth Ariang as well. She's a gun. Hopefully she gets a clear run in it.
Yeah, if you're a Fever fan though, let us know in the comments.
Yes.
What do you think of the signing period?
Are there Fever fans?
Yeah,
Oh,
there's
I
plenty
didn't know
of them.
that. I didn't know that.
The Green Army.
Yes.
We want to hear from you,
Yeah.
Green Army.
Tell us why we're wrong again. Yeah, I love being wrong, and I love being told I'm wrong. Well done, Liv. You should probably lead off more often. What's next? We'll be back soon. We'll be back soon with the Swifts.
The Swifts. The mighty Swifts.